Hi, my name's Barb Spees, and I'm the Formation Director for the St. Francis of Assisi Fraternity in Milwaukee. We're an emerging fraternity, and we meet at Cardinal Stretch University. And I'm also the Regional Formation Director for the La Verna region. So this first post is about how I first started using the Fund Manual, the For Up to Now manual, rather large. I wasn't really sure how to use it. It was like, here's this thing, let's use that. And so the way I first started using it was to answer the question at the beginning of initial formation meetings about what is the secular Franciscan order. I wanted people to have a grasp of what that meant. And so I would pull things in here and there and put little bits of pieces in into my notes, and it was kind of random. There was no particular order. It didn't necessarily connect with the topic for the evening. It was simply about trying to answer that question of what is the secular Franciscan order. I really don't even have very clear records of what I used. I know that it's from the Fund Manual because I have that in my notes, but I don't have exactly what it is, where did I get it from, things like that. So now I'm much more methodical about the way I use the manual. First of all, I coordinate information from the Fund Manual with the subject that I'm covering for the evening, or that we're covering as a group for the evening, and so that I have a clear connection to what we're talking about. So, for example, if we're talking about calling, then what I would do is go to the clearly labeled sections of the binder. I'd find the one that talks about vocation, and then I flip through and I read things and I figure out what I'd like to pull out from there to help me describe what calling is in that meeting. Or, for example, if our readings mention a segment of the rule, well, I'll turn to the section on the rule and see what might go along with what we've been talking about that evening, or what we will be talking about that evening. So I'm much more methodical about that. The other thing is I keep clear records of what I've used so that I'm certain that I can cover things that I haven't covered before, use segments of the manual that I haven't used before. And here's the way I do it. So I told you I find things first, inside the manual itself. And then what I do is I open up the PDF on my computer. And from the PDF, I'm able to copy and paste the segment that I want to use for our discussion for the evening, so I can put it into my notes, because all my notes are on my computer. So notes from the reading for initial formation, but then notes from the Fund Manual itself. So I can pick those up and put them into the notes that I have for the evening that are all labeled with the date and the subject and all of that. Then what I do is I record based on a couple of different things where I found it, because as you know, the page numbering doesn't really tell you, it's not numbered like 1 to I don't know how many pages there are in this, several hundred, like 400 something. It's not numbered that way. So what I'll write down first of all is the segment, or the section that I'm in, and then within that I'll note the page number of that section in the binder. But I also record the page number from the PDF, because really of all things, that makes it the easiest to find, is that I can scroll through the PDF and find the page and find the exact segment. So that's really handy as well. So this is just a little bit of information about how I went from kind of random usage of the binder, because my goodness, it is a very large binder with lots of stuff in it, and I wasn't sure how to start, but how I went from kind of random usage to something that was much more methodical and really actually coordinates well with what we do in our initial formation meetings. We've also expanded to, using it as well in our ongoing formation in very much the same way. So thanks for listening, and let me know if you have any thoughts or ideas that you'd like to share. Thanks.